ball hits your head, it hits your nose, it hits your belly, your chin and toes. Well, try again. Keep on trying, and soon then you'll put your hands out in the air. You catch that ball, yes, this I swear. Don't give up, keep on going. You're on a ball, so keep on going. Don't give up, don't ever stop. Try, and you'll come out on top. Don't give up. You got yourself some roller skates. You put them on and you feel great. Stand up, but then you fall. Don't think you can skate at all. You get back up and then you trip. You skip and tip and slip and flip. Try some more. And soon you're skating across the floor. So give up. Keep on moving, you're gonna get there. Just keep on grooving, don't give up. Don't pack it in. Try, and you will win. Don't give up. No, don't give up. No, don't give up. No, don't give up. No, don't give up.
This ability to switch off helps reptiles and amphibians in another way. A baby North American painted turtle. It and the rest of its clutch have only just hatched. But it's late in the year and the chill of winter has already begun. If the hatchlings clambered out of their hole now, they would find nothing to eat, so they stay where they are. The temperature will fall to -10 degrees. Ice crystals grow around the babies and even inside their bodies, but their tissues are protected by a kind of antifreeze. This would kill any mammal or bird. They remain in this deep freeze for up to 6 months. But spring comes at last. The ice melts around them and eventually within them. Slowly they begin to come to life. It takes quite a time for them to become fully functional, but eventually they're ready to face the outside world. So, by allowing their bodies to cool, they have avoided the hard times. With the arrival of spring, their parents are now preparing to breed again. The male courts the female by gently strumming her cheeks with his long claws. And she responds. Cold blood is clearly no barrier to affection. In fact, reptiles can conduct as complex and as sensitive a courtship as many a mammal.
Ah, now that's a clean mouth. I wish I could keep it this way.
After dental cleaning, plaque quickly starts to grow back. But New Crest Pro Health Clinical Plaque Control reduces plaque and is clinically proven to help keep it from coming back. New Crest Pro Health Clinical Plaque Control toothpaste.
The most aquatic of all freshwater turtles is found in New Guinea and a few rivers like this one in northern Australia. The pig-nosed turtle. Its feet have become completely transformed into flippers and are of little use on land. And indeed, the pig-nosed turtle rarely comes ashore. But turtles are descended from land-living ancestors, and so they still need to breathe air. Females also have to return to land in order to lay their eggs. Pignoses nest during the dry season, high up on the riverbank. If turtle eggs get wet, the babies inside them will drown. At least, that is the case with most turtles. An egg for a turtle represents a huge investment, as it does for any reptile. So turtles go through a great deal of trouble to make sure that they lay their eggs in safe and dry places. So you'd think that dropping one into water would be a disaster. Of what? A fully developed baby turtle. And it's come from an egg which, as far as we know, is unique in the reptile world. It can not only survive being flooded, it actually requires to be submerged in water in order to hatch. This enables the pignose to make the hatching of its eggs coincide with the onset of the rainy season. A view inside the egg would show the babies to be fully developed. They can remain there in a kind of suspended animation, if necessary, for weeks. When the rains finally arrive, they are torrential. The river rises swiftly, and soon the nests are flooded. This would be a disaster for most turtles, but the unhatched pignoses are ready for it. Indeed, it's the moment they've been waiting for. Their unique waiting strategy ensures that no matter how late the rains are, the young turtles only emerge when the rivers are full and there's plenty to eat. They're able to swim immediately. In due course, the females among them will return here to lay eggs themselves. The males, however, will never set foot on dry land again. No turtles are better suited to life in fresh water than the pygmies.
巨大ワニガメ金ちゃんのスイカ割りをやっていただきましょう。綺麗ですね。尻尾もピカピカです。頭がでかいですね。さあ行ってみましょうか。餌を求めて仕上がりそうな勢いです。金ちゃんちょっとこっちに来い。うわ手がうわすごい勢いだ。手が擦り切れちゃいそうです。一回こいつに構えることは思い出したくもありませんが、さあこの丸スイカですね。行ってみましょう。いきますよ。ワン、ツー、スリー。おお。よいしょ。スイカ美味しいですか、金ちゃん。ちょっと食べていい？もぐもぐじゃなくて。お。じゃあもう一回いきますよ。じゃあこのか。よし。
私を見下す発言は許さない。
魔界777つ道具イビルイリュージョン。そんなに孤独を自慢したいのなら
ここはどこ？何も見えませんわ。どこにいましたの？誰か。
ごちそうさ
ネロ。
ま。どうしたんでしょう。勝手に力尽きたようですね。
の傘徹底刺さってんだ。
日頃腹筋を鍛えておいて助かっ
ありえねえから。
た。おい、しもべ1号。
え、私？
このうるさいしもべ2号を連れてチラシ配りに行ってこい。
格下げかよ。っていうか俺はお前のしもべじゃねえ。
Who are you working for?
Можно казать, босса стоит на будешь.
Ayrton, это что, Нат?
Don't pretend you're some dotty old lady who can't remember anything. I've got questions and you're the only one left with the answers.
Besides Bruce, you mean?
Bruce can't be trusted. I should have realized what he was capable of. Once he settles on a course of action, he won't stop at anything.
If you think that, you don't know him at all. Let me tell you a little story. It was a long time ago, when Batman was young and so was I. The Justice League found themselves cleaning up one of my old messes. The second group of villains to call themselves the Royal Flush Gang, or the third who can keep it all straight. Eventually, the League took them down. Most of them, anyway. That's where I came.
Waller. Should have recognized your hand in this.
No time for the usual pleasantries. Before you go after Ace, you need to know what you're getting into.
I've met her before. She has the power to give anyone she's in contact with hallucinations, as you can see.
It's worse than you think. Ace's powers have evolved. She doesn't create hallucinations anymore. She telekinetically warps reality. Please, you trying to tell me all this is real? Real, growing, and permanent if we don't put a stop to it all. Cadmus Cytex predict that Ace is days, maybe only hours from a massive aneurysm. Problem solved. Not that simple. When she goes, the psychic backlash could kill everyone in range of her powers. That's a distance measured in miles. Take her down before she takes everyone with her.
I'll do it, Shaira. I'm the only one of us Ace knows. She might let me get close enough to use it.
Do you understand what you're agreeing to? The only way to stop Ace for certain is to kill her.
Batman,
Ace.
did you like playing with my new Royal Flush gang?
Can't say that I did.
Yeah, they aren't any fun at all. I gave them their powers and they still hardly ever play with me.
Can't imagine why.
When I was little, Cadmus used to make me play all kinds of games, but they weren't any fun either. They'd strap me into their machines and poke wires into my brain. Ace, can you move this object with your mind? Yeah, I can move it. They weren't really games, you know. They were training me, turning me into a weapon for justice, they said. They got their weapon. I got cheated out of my childhood.
I know what that's like.
You do, don't you? You don't have to answer. I read your mind. That's how I knew you weren't going to use Mrs. Waller's weapon on me.
No, I wasn't.
You were going to try and talk me into fixing what I've changed. Before I die.
Yes.
I'm dying very soon.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Could you stay with me? I'm scared.
He sat with her until her time came. Wayne I came to know over the years.
You think he showed mercy? Maybe. But more likely he'd somehow already deduced that Ace wasn't really gonna hurt anyone.
He always was 2 steps ahead of everybody.
That's right. Even when it looks like it's your call, it isn't. Think about it. Bruce wanted a successor. Another Batman. He planned it all from the beginning. I never had a chance.
Honey, Bruce didn't overwrite your DNA with his. I did.
How? Why?
Because the world needs a Batman. Not that I always thought so, mind you. Before you were born, Bruce and I were enemies. His Justice League was easily the most powerful force on Earth. As you know, I was in charge of Project Cadmus. Over the years, I came to respect Batman, even trust him.
Guess the law of averages means somebody'd have to.
Did you know I was the government liaison with the Justice League for a while? I met some extraordinary people in that job, but none of them were the equal of Batman.
Right. Who could be?
Not my point. I saw him save the day dozens of times, with nothing but his wits, body, and will. But I saw something else as the years passed. He was getting older, slower. Soon he'd have to retire, or more likely, someone would finally manage to kill him. The thought of a world without Batman was unacceptable. So I decided to make a new one. I used my old Cadmus connections to gather the technology necessary for Project Batman Beyond. Bruce's DNA was easy enough to obtain. He left it all over town. Not remotely what I meant. Then I found a young neo-Gotham couple with psychological profiles nearly identical to those of Bruce's parents. The father thought he was getting a flu shot. Actually, it was a nanotech solution programmed to rewrite his reproductive material into an exact copy of Bruce Wayne's. A little over a year later, your mother gave birth to you, a child sharing half her genetic material and half Bruce's. But when you're making a Batman, genetics is only part of the story. The rest is tragedy. Stop me if you've heard it before. You're 8 years old. Your parents have just taken you to a rousing adventure film. A grand time is had by all. But unknown to you, a mysterious figure hides in the shadows. My plan was simple. The killer would leap out at you and kill your family. The trauma would put you on the path to becoming Batman. One problem. My assassin wouldn't pull the trigger. I argued with her, but deep down I knew she was right. People say Batman's obsessive, that he'd do anything to achieve his goals, but he'd never resort to murder. So if I was to honor all he stood for, neither could I.
And yet my dad wound up murdered. Anyway, don't you get it? No matter what you did or didn't do, I was going to end up being Bruce's carbon copy. It's fate.
You know, the Lord's been a great comfort to me all these years. Try not to look so surprised. Yeah, I've got a lot to answer for when I meet him, but I'd like to believe that for all the harm I've caused, I've also done some good. Maybe the angels need a sharp sword too. Like the good book says, he moves in mysterious ways. His plan is a mystery, but here's what isn't. He gave us free will. We choose our own fate, for good or ill. I've known Bruce Wayne for over 50 years, and I've been keeping an eye on you your whole life. You're not Bruce's clone. You're his son. There are similarities, mind you, but more than a few differences, too. You don't quite have his magnificent brain, for instance. You do have his heart, though. And for all that fierce exterior, I've never met anyone who cared as deeply about his fellow man as Bruce Wayne, except maybe you. You want to have a little better life than the old man's? Take care of the people who love you, or don't. It's your choice.
Hi.
Terry? What time is it?
It's just after 3.
Oh, baby, I have to be up at 5. What's wrong?
I just wanted to know if we were still on for this weekend.
Yeah? Why? Something come up again?
No, I just want to ask you something.
So ask.
No, not until I see you.
Okay.
So, Friday night?
Fine.
Good night. Love you.
Love you too.
You're in my chair.
Yeah. Guess I am.
Where the devil have you been?
I had some stuff to take care of.
Enigma's overrated, especially at 3 a.m. You could have called. I made you some soup, but it's cold.
Sorry. Didn't mean to worry you.
I was worried about Gotham. If Batman's not around.
I've got it covered. Always.
Kent called. Nothing apocalyptic, he just wants your opinion on a case he's working. Said you could meet him at the Metro Tower.
Right. Better suit up.
You should eat something first. Keep up your strength.
When I get back.
You're a stubborn piece of work, you know that.
Just like my old man.
Consider this my salutation as I address the congregation. Welcome to the graduation of the greatest high school in the nation. Bear with me while I rock some rhymes and enjoy the moment while I discuss old times. I'm about to get down to the essence of the days we called adolescence. Luminescence, you couldn't hide from our evanescence. Yeah, we were the brightest lights in 2 And baby, that's where I'll start this flow. With my freshman year looking clear. Ladies, please don't shed a tear. Cause I'm trying to be sincere when I say we were wide-eyed and wild. Times have changed, sometimes we're closed-minded and mild. Forgive me if I get a little existential, but that's only because we started with so much potential. We'd have it all, but we didn't know how. We'd be rock stars going to take a bow. I guess the seniors hated us. I didn't understand that until now. Flash forward and we're sophomore. Memory lane, go ahead and open your doors. The year started off bright. Nothing could challenge our light. And then the sun came up, but it didn't shine as 2 towers disappeared from our skyline. All flags hanging half-mast with sadness, destruction, all on live telecast. Tupac always said there's a heaven for G's, but times had me wondering, is there a heaven for me? Now, forgive me for this retrospective, but from my perspective, times were straight defective. Hate seemed infected. Still, we pushed on. We cried and we laughed. We ignored the pain. We kept it cool like chaff. Sooner or later, we were out of the pan and into the fire. We were upperclassmen, the school's new supplier. My junior year seemed to slip by in a blaze. What can I say? I enjoyed those days. Speech meets, games, and dances. Spend way too much time on sweet romances. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's got their stories to tell, living our lives like we're from Saved by the Bell. All of a sudden, it was my senior year. Suddenly, we were the oldest people here. It felt like the pressure was on. Our careless days were gone. No more messing around. No more Cheech and Chong. We had to get that dirt off our shoulders if we wanted to blow big, or at least make it to Boulder. Now, memories flood me because I'm about to be leaving. Sometimes I feel like just laying down and grieving. And please, don't be unbelievable.
Escape is not possible. Your final destination.
Hey, Zach! Guess what time it is? Well, I know this guy, his name is Zach. He's got cool hair and a really big foot. And if he ever went, well, I knew this guy, his name was Zach.
If you ever find yourself lost in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of, for we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of, when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know